Stop texting her. Put the phone down. Look at the screen. Look at the blue light reflecting off your anxious face. Look at the paragraph you just typed. The paragraph explaining yourself. The paragraph begging for her attention, disguised as casualness. Delete it. You are doing it again. You are feeding the machine that is designed to starve you. Every time you send that message, every time you double text, every time you explain why you didn't respond faster, you are not building attraction. You are killing it. You are taking a knife and carving away at your own value until there is nothing left but a hollow shell of neediness. The more you text, the less she wants you. This is not cruelty. This is physics. This is the brutal mathematics of desire. And you have been losing this game your entire life because no one taught you the rules. Niccolo Machiavelli understood something that modern men have forgotten. He understood that power is not given to those who ask for it. Power is taken by those who understand the geometry of human nature. He wrote for princes, for rulers, for men who could not afford the luxury of weakness. And his most devastating weapon was not the sword. It was silence. You think you are being ignored. You think you are being ghosted. You think you are losing her because you are not doing enough. The truth is the opposite. You are losing her because you are doing too much. You are everywhere. You are abundant. You are free air. And humans do not value what costs them nothing. Look around you. The men who command attention from women are not the ones sending good morning texts. They are not the ones explaining their feelings. They are not the ones available at every hour like a 24-hour customer service line. They are the ones who disappear. They are the ones who hold their cards so close that no one can see them. They are the ones who have mastered the most seductive force in the universe, absence. But you are terrified of absence. You are terrified that if you stop performing, if you stop being useful, if you stop entertaining her, she will forget you. So you become a clown. You dance. You juggle. You send memes and funny videos and constant updates about your day. And she watches. She consumes. But she does not desire. Because desire is not built in the light. Desire is built in the dark spaces where the mind creates fantasies, and you, by being constantly present, rob her of the darkness. This is the trap of the nice guy. You believe that if you give more, she will want you more. But the economy of attraction does not work like charity. It works like scarcity. The rarer you are, the more valuable you become. The moment you flood the market with your attention, you crash the price. Machiavelli knew this. He watched kingdoms rise and fall. He watched leaders who were loved become despised. He watched men who gave everything lose everything. And he distilled it into a single principle: familiarity breeds contempt. You are familiar. You are predictable. You are the message she knows will be waiting when she checks her phone. And that certainty, that guarantee of your presence, is the poison that kills attraction. I am going to teach you how to become unfamiliar. I am going to teach you how to weaponize your absence so completely that she becomes haunted by the space you leave behind. But to do this, you must kill a part of yourself, the part that needs validation, the part that cannot sit in uncertainty, the part that would rather have her lukewarm attention than risk the void of her silence. Are you ready to walk into that void? Because on the other side is a version of you that women chase, a version of you that does not ask for permission to exist, a version of you that has become so comfortable in his own power that he does not need her response to feel whole. Let's begin the surgery. Never be available. You are too available. You answer on the first ring. You respond within minutes. You rearrange your schedule the moment she suggests hanging out. You think this shows interest. Psychologically, it shows desperation. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. You think you are being loved by being available, but you are not being loved. You are being used. And worse, you are training her to not fear losing you. When you are always there, you become part of the furniture. You become wallpaper. You blend into the background of her life as something she can access whenever she needs an ego boost or free therapy. But she does not fantasize about wallpaper. She does not obsess over what is always within reach. The strategic man is busy, not fake busy, actually busy. Busy building an empire, busy training his body, busy sharpening his mind. When she texts, you see it. You might even think of a response, but you do not send it immediately. You place the phone face down and return to your mission. This creates a gap, and in that gap, her mind begins to work. Where is he? What is he doing? Why hasn't he responded? Is he with someone else? These questions are the seeds of obsession. You do not plant them with manipulation. You plant them by genuinely having a life that is more important than her text message. When you finally respond hours later, you do not apologize. You do not explain. You simply continue the conversation as if time does not control you, because it does not. Availability signals low value. Scarcity signals high value. If you want her to chase you, you must become rare. Not by playing games, but by actually being a man whose time is expensive. Silence as weapon. Most men talk too much. They fill every silence with nervous chatter. They explain themselves before they are even accused. They reveal their plans, their feelings, their entire internal world, because they believe transparency builds trust. It does not. It builds boredom. Machiavelli advised, "Everyone sees what you appear to be few, experience what you really are." The man who reveals everything appears to be simple. The man who reveals nothing appears to be deep. When she asks you a question, do not rush to answer. Pause. Let the silence stretch. Look at her. Let her feel the weight of your consideration. Then speak, slowly, with economy. Do not explain your weekend plans in detail. Say, "I have things to handle." Do not justify why you didn't text back. Say nothing. Let her sit with the uncertainty. Silence is not passive. Silence is active warfare. It forces the other person to fill the void. And when they fill the void, they reveal themselves. They show you their insecurities. They show you their need. And in that revelation, you gain all the leverage. A woman will ask, "Where were you last night?" The weak man lists his activities like a defendant in court. The Machiavellian man smiles slightly and says, "Out." That single word creates a universe of questions in her mind. She will imagine scenarios. She will create stories. And in those stories, you become more interesting than you actually are. Silence is mystery. Mystery is attraction. The moment you break the silence with too much information, you destroy the mystery. You become predictable. And predictability is death. Emotional detachment. You care too much. You care what she thinks. You care if she is happy with you. You monitor her mood like a seismograph, adjusting your behavior to avoid her earthquakes. This is slavery. Machiavelli understood that the ruler must not be ruled by the emotions of his subjects. He wrote, "A prince must not be governed by anger or affection." You are not a prince. You are a servant to her emotional weather. When she is cold, you panic. When she is distant, you chase. When she withdraws affection, you grovel. You have given her the remote control to your nervous system. She presses a button and you dance. To make her chase you, You must become emotionally untouchable. This does not mean you feel nothing. It means your feelings are yours, not hers, to control. When she withdraws, you do not pursue. You simply continue existing at your baseline. You do not reward her bad behavior with your attention. This is the principle of intermittent reinforcement. When you react to every mood swing, you are predictable. When you remain steady regardless of her behavior, you become unpredictable. And the human brain is wired to obsess over unpredictable rewards. She needs to know that your affection is not a salary she receives automatically. It is a commission she earns. When she is cold, you become colder. Not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. You match energy. You do not supplement her lack with your overflow. This recalibrates the dynamic. Suddenly, she is the one asking, "Why are you being distant?" She is the one seeking reassurance. She is the one chasing, because you stopped performing the dance of the desperate. The power of withdrawal. You are always leaning into the conversation, leaning into the relationship, leaning into her life like a plant bending toward the sun. Stop leaning. Machiavelli taught that a wise prince creates situations where others need him more than he needs them. You have created the opposite. You have made yourself the needy one. To reverse this, you must practice strategic withdrawal. When the dynamic feels off, when you sense her pulling away or testing you, you do not fight it. You amplify it. You withdraw completely. You do not announce it. You do not send a dramatic message saying you need space. You simply become unavailable. You focus on your work. You go dark on social media. You stop initiating. You stop being the one who keeps the connection alive. This is terrifying for you because you fear she will move on. But here is the truth. If she moves on that easily, she was never yours to begin with. You were a placeholder. Better to know now than 3 years from now. But if she had any genuine interest, your withdrawal creates panic. She notices the void. She reaches out. And when she does, you do not come running back like a dog who is let off the leash. You respond casually. You let her work to re-engage you. This establishes a new pattern. She learns that you are not a guaranteed presence. She learns that your attention must be earned. She learns that you are willing to walk away. And the man who is willing to walk away holds all the power. Create uncertainty. Certainty is comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of desire. When she knows exactly how you feel, exactly what you will do, exactly where you will be, she relaxes. And when she relaxes, she stops chasing. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand," meaning people believe what they see more than what they feel. If she sees you as a sure thing, she treats you as such. You must become uncertain. Not in your character, remain solid in your principles, but uncertain in your availability, in your interest, in your future plans. Do not tell her you love her unless she has earned it. Do not define the relationship prematurely. Do not make promises about forever. Remain in the present. Remain ambiguous. When she asks, "What are we?" you do not panic. You say, "We are two people enjoying each other. Why do we need a label?" You are not being evasive to be cruel. You are protecting the tension that keeps her interested. The moment you lock it down, the moment you become official, the moment you remove all doubt, the hunt is over. She won. The game is finished. And humans get bored when the game ends. Keep her guessing. Not about your character, she should know you are reliable, strong, disciplined, but about your intentions with her. Let her wonder if you will commit. Let her wonder if she is special. Let her compete with the phantom of other options, even if those options do not exist. This is not manipulation. This is maintaining the natural tension that attraction requires. Do not seek validation. Every time you fish for a compliment, every time you ask if she likes you, every time you need reassurance that you are doing well, you leak power. Machiavelli observed that the weak seek permission and the strong take action. You are seeking permission for your own value. You are asking her to validate your existence. Stop asking. Stop seeking. Assume you are the prize, not arrogantly, not obnoxiously, but quietly, internally. You know your worth. You do not need her to confirm it. When she compliments you, do not light up like a Christmas tree. Say thank you and move on. Do not return the compliment immediately like a trained seal. This shows you do not need her approval to feel good about yourself. The man who needs validation is controlled by those who give it. The man who is self-validated is free, and freedom is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who do not need them. It is a paradox, but it is true. When you stop needing her to like you, when you become comfortable with the possibility that she might not, you become dangerous. You become the kind of man she cannot manipulate with approval or withdrawal, and that makes her work harder to earn your approval. Master the art of absence. We return to the core principle: absence. You have been taught that love means presence, that caring means being there, that commitment means availability. These are lies designed to turn you into a servant. True power in any dynamic is the ability to walk away. The moment she knows you will never leave, she owns you. The moment she fears you might, you own the frame. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." In the context of attraction, translate this: it is better to be missed than to be taken for granted. Disappear, not forever, not to punish, but to remind her that you are not a fixed star in her sky. You are a comet. You pass through. You dazzle, and then you vanish into the void. When you return, you do not grovel. You do not apologize for your absence. You simply reappear as if time bends to your will, and in that reappearance, you are more valuable than before, because she had to imagine life without you. The more you do absolutely nothing, no texting, no chasing, no performing, the more space you create for her to fill with her own pursuit. She will text, she will initiate, she will ask to see you, because you have become the scarcity she craves. You see it now, do not you? The pattern you have been running, the script you have been reading from. You thought you were being a good man by being available, communicative, and eager, but you were being a weak man, and the world does not reward weakness with desire. To become the man she chases, you must shed the skin of the nice guy. You must stop being the emotional support animal. You must stop being the free therapist, the always available friend, the safety net she jumps into whenever her first choice disappoints her. You must become the storm she cannot predict, the silence she cannot interpret, the absence she cannot ignore. This requires discipline. It requires you to sit with the discomfort of not responding, to feel the urge to text her and instead place the phone down and go lift weights, to feel the anxiety of uncertainty and breathe through it like a monk in meditation. You are rewiring your nervous system. You are training yourself to be comfortable in the void, because the void is where power lives. Machiavelli spent years in exile, stripped of his position, tortured, alone, and in that darkness, he wrote the words that would outlive kingdoms. He did not beg to be let back in. He did not plead for forgiveness. He simply built his legacy in silence. You must do the same. Build in the dark. Work in silence. Let your results be the only noise you make. When you become this man, the man who is busy, who is silent, who is detached, who withdraws when necessary, who creates uncertainty, who needs no validation, who masters absence, you do not have to make her chase you. She has no choice. Because you have become the rarest thing in her world, a man who does not need her. And that is the only thing she cannot resist. You are still here. That tells me something. It tells me you are not like the others. The others left after the first minute. They went back to their phones. They went back to double texting. They went back to begging for scraps of attention from women who do not respect them. But you stayed. You listened. You felt the sting of recognition when I described your behaviors. You are awake now. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Most men will do nothing. They will nod. They will agree. They will say, yes, I need to change. And tomorrow they will be on their phone at 2 a.m. typing paragraphs to a woman who has not thought about them all day. Do not be most men. If you are ready to step into the dark, if you are ready to become the kind of man who controls the frame, who commands respect, who makes women chase him by doing absolutely nothing, then you must commit. This is not a game. This is a complete reconstruction of your psychology. This is the death of the old you and the birth of the sovereign. Subscribe to this channel if you are ready to descend deeper. The surface-level advice ends here. What comes next is darker. What comes next is forbidden. What comes next will change you in ways you cannot undo. But if you are still clinging to the hope that you can have power and stay comfortable, leave now. Go back to the herd. Go back to the safe advice that tells you to just be yourself and communicate your feelings. That advice will keep you exactly where you are. This path is cold. This path is lonely. But on this path you become untouchable. Welcome to the order of silence. Now go. Put the phone down. Walk into the void and let her wonder where you went.